Watch how fast this moment turns from a question into a comparison.
Earlier in this hearing, Representative Takano had referenced Truth Social posts from the president, and I believe I heard your response to be that he was the most sane president. Do you care to comment any further, or is that your
if you look at that Truth Social post, I was pointing out the last line of it says, "God bless the Iranian people." So it was clear that he was sending a nuanced message. He was sending a message of brute force and violence to the mullahs to incentivize them to change, but also sending a message of love and compassion to the Iranian people. So you can look at it and say, oh, it's insane that he'd make this kind of threat. But he's a deal maker. He's a bargainer.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I appreciate that. More sane than your uncle?
He's very, very sane.
So I grew up in a place called Tipperary Hill.
I'd say he's more sane than Uncle Joe,
and
Uncle Joe Biden.
Your uncle, your father, were heroes to the Irish Catholic community. Your uncle, a Purple Heart recipient, a World War II veteran and naval commander, a hero, a member of the House of Representatives and the United States Senate, and a president whose term ended in assassination and is widely regarded as someone who navigated our country through possibly the most challenging time of the Cuban Missile Crisis. There were two pictures that hung in the homes of Irish Catholics in my neighborhood, separate pictures. One of your uncle, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, and the other of the baby Jesus, the light of the world, two separate pictures. So I thank you for being here today. I have various concerns about the direction of HHS under your leadership, but today I'd like to focus on some particularly harmful attacks made on the disability community. Your actions and statements, Mr. Secretary, have contributed to real fears, anxieties, and consequences for millions of families. I know some of my colleagues have raised these with you as well, but I want to again point out some of the statements that I think reveal a bias and a credibility issue. You previously said that people with autism, and again, I acknowledge your statements previously in this hearing that these are the most profoundly autistic individuals, but the impact it has on families and statements that they will never hold a job, never play baseball, never write a poem, never go out on a date, or never use a toilet unassisted, those are incredibly impactful. Additional statements that individuals with autism and the epidemic that exists is catastrophic to our country and destroys families. As these words weren't insulting enough, you've also insinuated and insulted the intelligence of American people by linking autism to vaccines, Tylenol, and circumcision.
Let's start right here, okay? I have had autism for the entirety of my life. I'm married, I've had jobs, I've ran companies, but obviously there are always going to be, different levels. There are variables when it comes to specifically autism. Very specifically, I have Asperger's autism. Okay, high functioning, right? I mean, I call it a superpower, right? I mean, I have the ability to kind of look through the nonsense, and literally when people speak, I don't care about their emotions, right? It's incredibly socially awkward. I'll give you that one right there, bro. Like, I'm talking to you right here because I'm the only one in this room. See me in person? Not happening, my guys. But here's the thing. I'm not really sure it's fair to specifically start like holding this one ancestor, let's say, to the level of JFK. Let's just say this here. Like, I'm not sure that's fair to just immediately start comparing this one person who's this one person living in 2026 versus someone who lived in the 60s. All right. I get it. All the accolades. Absolutely. But I'm not sure that's fair. Now, in terms of the very sane aspect here, guys, are we seriously not understanding the nuances here? Could Trump have said it better? Probably, but he's from New York, guys. I'm never going to change my opinion because I grew up around New Yorkers. Well, my whole family's a New Yorker, guys, basically. There's an energy that really doesn't make sense for many people outside of New York City or Long Island. This is just an energy that we exude. And, it's not really palatable, let's say, to Californians. We say what we mean kind of the first time versus everyone else who kind of like dances around things. And I knew when Trump got in office the first time, things were about to be interesting, bro. Like, you let a modern New Yorker into office and then gave him a platform to talk all types of crazy here. And without a doubt, the Truth Social post was exactly what RFK just said here, bro. He's telling, listen, the mullahs, all of you guys, all the clerics, right? Oh, this is what's coming for you if you don't fix things. Then obviously the Iranian people have nothing to do with any of this here. Is he blatantly and purposefully attacking, large scale civilian centers? No, he is not, guys. You know who's doing that? Iran. Now, in terms of Trump versus Biden, I'd rather Trump. Okay. It is like in the context of this here. Yeah, there came a time where Biden was no longer kind of there. Listen, age happens. I'm not going to sit here and make fun of the man because age happens. Some people, when they hit certain ages, they start losing their faculties, guys, right? Age happens. He shouldn't have been in office, at all, if that was the case here. If what we encountered when Biden was president was a reality, then maybe he should not have been in office, bro. Let's just be completely honest here. It is what it is here. He was not there. You can keep lying about it. Comparing Trump versus Biden, Trump wins that. Hands down, guys.
Any of these claims would have been disqualifying for someone in your position, especially given a lack of scientific or medical training on your part. These would have prompted dismissal, and we would have dismissed these statements as ridiculous and unverified theories. But in this administration, falsehoods are routinely given a platform and are perpetuated. Incompetence is also often rewarded, as is loyalty, and there's very rarely accountability for statements such as this. Mr. Secretary is a science teacher at a college level for almost 30 years and the former chairman of the Disabilities Committee in the New York State Senate.
Okay.
I have worked intensively with individuals with disabilities and their families, understanding their concerns, so that experience goes back a long time. And as a country, we have made massive strides in improving disability policy. But now, under your watch, we're moving in the wrong direction. A $1 trillion cut to Medicaid that you have let happen and have tried to downplay is dismantling many important programs, including the Administration for Community Living at HHS, which oversees programs supporting senior and individuals with disabilities. And now, you and Secretary McMahon seem to be working behind closed doors to dismantle the Department of Education and expand HHS's role in key educational programs. Unlike you, career public servants at the Department of Education have worked for decades to develop expertise, expand educational opportunity, and protect the rights of students with disabilities. I cannot believe that we are talking about shifting critical programs that are enshrined into law and into the Department of Education over to HHS. In lieu of going over on my comments, I will end my time here. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Guys, there's hypocrisy on both sides here. Just be fully aware here. I'm not trying to both sides the argument here, but there's definitely hypocrisy. Okay, understand this here. Whenever you start hearing people start talking about like the idea of like vaccines causing autism, you know that they're coming from the right? And then whenever you encounter people that cannot define what a woman is, you know that they're coming from the left. So I honestly look at both of those things as kind of the same thing. But it always kind of feels like selective outrage, right? I mean, listen, he has his opinion. That's his opinion here, okay? You can talk about things and science and rooting things in pure truth and fact, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you follow what the left has basically been preaching for the last, 40, 20, 30 years, you start to realize immediately how interesting how things can like massively change very fast based off of the public opinion of the voting bloc. Let's just say this here, right? So if the opinion of the voting bloc has dictated that what was once true is no longer true, then you're now going to say it's true because enough people basically are saying it, right? I mean, come on, guys, come on. And the same thing with the vaccine stuff here. Listen, I've never gotten into any of these type of conspiracies specifically. How could a vaccine affect the next generation? Plausible. I guess if it has the ability to affect the blood-brain barrier, then it may absolutely have the ability to alter chromosomes in some way, at least, right? Maybe, right? Just like slightly alter it to the point where when that person then has a kid, their baby juice, specifically if you're a guy, right? Or your egg may have been tainted by the vaccine potentially, which would then obviously alter and create your offspring would then in fact could potentially have some ailments due to the vaccine. Is that kind of the theory? I'm just trying to understand what that is here. And the same thing with the left when it comes down to like all the gender stuff. I just don't get it, bro. Again, I am absolutely too autistic for this conversation. All right. People have tried to explain it to me. Like, I don't care what you're doing with yourself. Again, I want to go ahead and I have to point this out here because, yeah, I have to, right? Because people clip me and all this other nonsense. But I don't care what you're doing with your body, bro. But I don't think I'll understand it. All right. Like, truthfully. And it has been explained multiple and numerous times to me, bro. All right. How are you a man and then you've changed into I don't get it, bro. I don't know how, because like in my head, XX and XY. So I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I don't think I don't think I'm smart enough for that conversation. Truth be told, I'm not mature enough, or maybe like adult enough, or I may not have the mental capacity. I don't know how this works here, guys, but it just never made sense to me. But in summary here, okay, the idea of sanity should not be that hard to attribute to one president over another. Like, specifically, if we're talking about Joe Biden and his presidency, and the fact that during the end stages, specifically, he had to use like flashcards to remember where to stand, guys. All right. I mean, not disrespecting the idea of aging, because everyone ages. Everyone, if you're lucky enough, you're going to reach the age of Biden, bro. Okay. You're going to. So I'm not going to sit here and judge this man or attempt to be even ageist or anything like this here. But if he was to the point where his mental capacity was dwindling, he should have never been in office. So yeah, by default here, guys, Trump is a lot more sane than Biden. That's the default, I suspect here. But all right, listen, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys